Hello, fantasy readers. Today we're going to be taking a look at quests. So, a quest is a character's journey to try to find something or to try to obtain something. And so, your fantasy book should be following that similar structure, right? That your character's trying to either find something or trying to get something, and they need that a lot of things get in their way, right? I know one of my favorite new movies is the movie Onward. And if you've seen that movie, you know that they're on a quest to be able to see their father, right? And so in a quest, there's that external quest of what the character actually wants, right? Like so in Onward, they want to see their father, but there's also this whole internal quest that the character goes on, right? And that's what is going on inside the character, what the character's feeling. A lot of times, our characters go on somewhat of an emotional roller coaster, right? And so we need to not only track that external quest of what is it that our character wants, but also that internal quest of what is going on inside the character. And we know that stories follow that typical story mountain structure. And in the beginning of our books, we're introduced to that setting and we meet the characters. But as the book goes on and we go up the story mountain, our characters' problems are getting worse and worse and worse, even though they want to to find what it is they're looking for on their quest, on their journey. And so we know that their problems are getting bigger and that quest is getting more and more difficult. And on the inside, things are getting more and more difficult for our characters as well. And that's something we want to track, right? So these are some questions that you can think about as you're reading and as you're following that story structure. We know how stories go, right? They go in that story mountain structure where the characters' problems are getting worse and worse. You can ask yourself, are there any patterns or obstacles that your characters are facing? Does your character seem to accomplish what they want right away? Are they forced to stay home or are they forced to leave, right? So are just a few questions that can help you think about what the external and the internal quest is for your character. So I tried to do this for the menagerie and I took a look at Logan, right? And so in the beginning of the story, Logan's external quest, right? He finds that griffin in his bedroom. And then he's trying to help Zoe and Blue, but they're kind of shaking him off and don't want his help. So then he takes the griffin to the menagerie. And then he gets there and he realizes that he has this special ability where he can talk to the animals and the animals seem to understand him and he can understand them, right? So there's also that internal quest that's going on for Logan, what he's feeling on the inside, right? And so in the beginning when he finds that griffin, he's like really excited, right? Because we know that he's an animal lover. So he's definitely excited by this griffin. And that's why I put a little positive mark because that's like a positive feeling that. But then when Zoe and Blue blow him off and don't want his help, he starts to feel a little bit lonely, right? And then if you go back to that section, you'll see that he starts mentioning how he misses his mom. And so that seems to bring on those feelings about when he's feeling lonely, he starts to think about mom and why she left. But then when he discovers that the griffin, he can hear the griffin and that seems to be a special ability, he starts to feel special again, right? So, do you see how we're able to track not only the external quest for Logan, but also this internal quest when we track how he's feeling on the inside? Okay. So on page 2, this is where you're going to take a look at your quest in your book club book. And you're going to ask yourself, what is it that my character wants, right? So this chart should help you a lot. Think about what is the big problem or the big goal that your character has. Are there a series of smaller obstacles that your character has to climb? And then when thinking about your internal quest, think about what's inside the character that's getting in the way, right? Does your character have any internal flaws to fix or get around? Does he have conflicts with other characters that he or she has to overcome? And this can help you think about internal quests that your character has as well. And then you can do what I did and go on Chrome Canvas and you can sketch out your character's external and internal quests. Just save it as an image and then you can copy it right on this slide. Remember, this is for your book club book. Okay? So, readers, remember, we're not only thinking about our character's external quests, right? What their big problem or their big goal is, but we're also thinking about their internal quest. What's inside the character that gets in the way.